I've been told my personality can make people uncomfortable. Hey, how to make love all night.
Oh, well, you know.
I think we're gonna get along pretty well. But I've learned that if you plan for every variable, a happy outcome doesn't have to be left to chance. This conversation's going pretty well.
Yes.
So that's no accident. Everything that's happened today, I've rehearsed it. Hey, hi, Nathan. Dozens of times. In a replica of your home. This is what we can do for you and you.
You know, just off the top of my head, I would say, sure, let's go with it.
This is gonna be fun.
It will be.
My goal is for your rehearsal to reflect reality.
The government has Sasquatch liaisons.
I love you, Daddy.
With this show, if your performance isn't accurate, you could ruin someone's life.
Hello and welcome to this What Do You Want to Watch Spoilercast for the season 1 of the HBO series, The Rehearsal. I'm Ashley Hubley, joining me today, Dylan Blight.
What is life?
It's a good question. One we might find out as we discuss this show. So yes, please be aware, we'll be freely discussing anything and everything about this season of The Rehearsal. So please come back later if you haven't watched it. It's currently streaming here in Australia on Binge. So with that said, let's jump to our discussion of The Rehearsal, created by Nathan Fielder, directed by Nathan Fielder, written by Nathan Fielder, Carrie Kemper, and Eric Notarnicola, starring Nathan Fielder. With a construction crew, a legion of actors, and seemingly unlimited resources, Nathan Fielder allows ordinary people to prepare for life's biggest moments by rehearsing them in carefully crafted simulations of his own design. When a single misstep could shatter your whole entire world, why leave life to chance? So, Dylan, you, like me, had not watched any of Nathan Fielder's previous work going into this.
After looking up clips, I've definitely seen clips of it pass around the internet, and I've watched clips of it out of context. And I've seen some memes from it, but I never realized that's what it was. And I didn't know who Nathan Fielder was by name or anything. No.
Yeah, I think a lot of people probably didn't know who Nathan Fielder was. Nathan Fielder, was a reasonably popular show. You know, anybody who watched it, like, sung its praises and that kind of thing. But this show, we talked about it, the trailer on What Do You Want to Watch? Then we watched the first episode we talked about on What Do You Want to Watch? And the show has proceeded to blow up every single week since. It's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger to be almost must-see television over its 6-episode run. So Dylan, what are your thoughts of The Rehearsal?
I don't know how to talk about this show, really. It is one of the wildest things released ever. I don't know. It's indescribable. Like, I don't know how I was thinking before, after I finished watching, because I only watched the finale like a couple of hours ago whenever it was. Yes. I was like, I don't know how I would talk about this show to anyone. But I don't know how he pitched this show and got it made. Like, that's the thing I find most interesting. Like, especially because, and like, if you I'm choosing to believe everything is as we see it to a degree, and like it wasn't all, because when you think about the show, it starts as one thing, and then it completely switches, and like there's that stage where he's like, because the show starts and he's doing these things for other people, but then about halfway through the series, it actually just becomes about himself.
Yes.
You know? So I was like, did they have other people lined up? And they were like, no, fuck it, this is more interesting, and they swerved. And then, like, I just don't know how you can, like, you just can't make a lot of this shit up. Like, the way the last episode turns into this thing about this kid, like, you can't plan for that. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I don't know what, it's just...
No, yeah, that is my feeling as well. It's how much of this was actually real, how much of this was scripted and planned. I can assume elements, like, almost, I assume all the stuff of him rehearsing his own situations. That was probably done after he'd shot stuff with the actual person. For comedic effect and that kind of stuff. But there's still crazy stuff that happens. And I assume he must have still been in that house playing with those kids, like, doing the rehearsal. It's also interesting the way this season ends up being structured, where you start with the first episode, really fun.
Which when you think back on,
you think, okay, is this what it's going to be every week?
Yeah.
A different person each week, crazy situations.
Which I feel like has to have been the pitch for the show. Like when he went into HBO, that was the pitch. What
he delivered that episode to HBO, and that's what they wanted.
Yeah.
And then you get the second episode of let me help you raise a child, and that kind of derails everything to come. With, we get like, what, one other person he helps after that?
And they disappear.
No, they helps the gold digger dude. The guy who's... You don't actually see him rectify his rehearsal situation.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's like, I never saw that guy again.
Like, yeah, that's right.
Remember? He's like, I never...
There's so many crazy things that happen this season that it's hard to keep track.
Disappears. He's like, oh, sorry, I can't come in today. I'm going to go down to the fair and eat some fairy floss or whatever. And he's like, no, sorry, I'm again. That's after he has the big moment where he cries and breaks down, like with the actor playing his brother. So you assume that that's all he needed was that moment. Yeah. But we never see or hear from that guy again. So,
well, he did he did set him up with a fake copy of his situation.
Yeah. And
then proceeded to kill the guy he just met.
Yeah.
Who he got to wipe his butt. So yeah, it's been this interesting season where, I feel like there was the original plan was it was like going to be very self-introspective over the season, like him kind of reflecting on his own self. But I feel the introduction of Angela exacerbated that, especially with her being such a personality and very opinionated throughout the season. With her views on Christianity, that kind of stuff. And then, I know we compared it to Sydney Key, New York, like from the jump, but like it got closer and closer to that as the season went on as well. Where he's becoming students inside his own acting class, and just the loops, insane.
Yeah, the thing, so each and every week I would watch this show and go, what the fuck did I just watch? Like, this is the wildest shit ever. I can't believe it can't get wilder than this next week. What the fuck did I just watch? This shit can't get wilder. What is this show? Like, it's insane. Like, there was always something. Like, even when you when you think about something like that acting school thing, I just think about everything that happens there where he's pretending to be this, like the fact he pretends to be a dude, lives in his house, like you forget, like there's so many things in this 6 episodes and I'm like, what the fuck? And then it's just,
and he plays out the entire scenario. Like he tricks the guy into giving him his keys.
Yeah. And then rewinds it back and he's like, oh, I can understand, and then starts being like, oh, I guess it would be weird if I asked, like the fact that I did ask for the keys and all this sort of stuff. But I mean, like, it's funny, the show was hilarious at the start. The first episode I was like, this show is just fucking funny as fuck. And then by the time you get to episode 3, I'm like, man, this Angela chick is crazy, this show's funny as fuck. And then by the time you get to after that point, 4, 5, 6, it just procedurally goes, what is life? What is the meaning? It just completely changes the direction to the point that, I had to like tweet it today while I'm watching this finale. Like 5 minutes into it, I'm like nearly crying about this fucking kid having a meltdown because he doesn't have a dad. I was like, what the fuck is this show? Like,
I mean, this last episode, freaking hell. There's, like you said, there's no way they could have anticipated this at all. This kid having a sit, and Nathan, I feel like at first is like trying to handle it like a creative or director, an actual person, not like making it part of the show. But it kind of goes in that direction to the point where he starts playing Remy's mum and gets the weird mirror things. What?
There's so many things too. Like I honestly have I don't know. Like I'm down for people to feel however they want about it, but some people like are going to watch this last episode and it's going to be like, this is why child actors shouldn't be a thing because it like fucks them up. Like you could definitely view it that way, and then you could be like, this Nathan motherfucker like use this kid's trauma as like a driving point for this show. Like there's so many different like, and to a point you could argue they're all true. Like I don't even know like what the, you know what I mean? Like they all like really they could all be.
You know, they kind of his mother agreed to this thing and like.
Yeah, but the argument about this is why you shouldn't have child actors because like they're not developed enough to understand reality from fiction and. You know, like
I think it just depends on the kid, but yeah, obviously them being him being what 6.
Yeah, I guarantee that mum, and like this isn't how I feel, but I guarantee that mum. If I was to look on Twitter like tomorrow after more people have watched it, I reckon that mum there's going to be a lot of like blame on her for that kid, which I don't think she actually deserves because she didn't actually do anything wrong in my eyes. But
no, it's just one of those things,
Yeah, but I'm telling you that's going to happen.
I mean, that could be she could have like. Start a relationship with somebody and like the kid gets attached to that person and they'd have the exact same kind of thing, so just very honest and like nice throughout the whole thing. Holding it together, even though this kid's like screaming and crying about his pretend daddy not wanting him anymore, like him and Nathan having that conversation
when he gets to that house. And like he opens the door, and the kid straight away just like, "Daddy!"
It's like, oh no! And then he gets the other kid, the 9-year-old.
Yeah. Who? My favorite line from that kid is we asked him, he's like, "Do you think I'm a good pretend dad or whatever?" And he goes, "Yeah, good scene partner."
See, the transition there is the interesting thing because obviously that's the. Did they just luck into that kid being the 9-year-old that they did the switch with? Not knowing?
I guess so, yeah.
And he's like, well, I'm just going to keep this kid for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Rest of this episode, like playing all these other roles. And then the reveal of them.
Rewound time. Don't forget we got up to teenage Adam where he was like doing drugs and shit.
All messed up because he disappeared for a month. Oh man, that's crazy. And even though it's like wanting him to be as bad as possible and stuff, I mean, and having him dying in a drug overdose.
Yep.
Oh man, that was crazy too.
There's so many crazy things.
No, but then that reveal in the last episode where it's revealed the reason he took that kid over for a play date is really so he could just get the kid to. Suss out little Remy so he can do.
Gets in the car, looks at him. You think you got enough?
Fuck. Oh man. But I think one of my other favorite jokes is like him bring up wanting to celebrate Hanukkah. Angela's like, nah, let's talk about something else. Nathan's like, what's your favorite movie? I love Apocalypto.
That's Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
He said
some
things.
Pretty bad things.
I like also in that last episode where he's like goes and talks to a kid about because the kid's pretending to be Jewish or whatever. He's like, Jews are bad. You want to be Christian? Christians are the best. You're gonna go to heaven. I'm gonna go to hell. Looks at the mum. Burn alive.
Oh man, this show crazy.
Even that like woman, like I don't know the official name, like but the Jewish version of a priest or whatever, like the
tutor
woman,
or whatever,
the tutor, whatever comes in. That fact, like she comes over, she's like, I'm gonna meet this fucking woman, and she gets there, and 5 minutes later, she's like, fuck this woman, she's terrible.
I can't deal with this.
I can't deal with this shit.
Oh man! And then her over the end credits of the last episode,
just going to the point that Nathan's like, I've gone too far down the Jewish rabbit hole.
It's the wrong way. You got a platform. You need to talk about.
Like, I wanted to have happy Hanukkah. Don't ask me about my feelings on political issues.
Israel and Palestine. Yeah. Oh man. And then it ends on this crazy note. It just ends on.
Yeah, the fucking show ended, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
With him like telling, having this big emotional speech. Calling himself his dad, even though he was playing the mum.
Accidentally says daddy instead of mummy. The kid breaks character just to like clarify and be like, you're my mum, right? Not my dad. And then like Nathan looks like he's about to fucking cry and then says, no, I'm your dad. Like what the?
And then
like,
that's it.
Yep. Read into that how you will.
Yeah.
Then they announced season 2.
They announced season 2 before the episode came out. So
yeah. But I'm also
like,
I don't know if
I thought it was going to be a definitive ending, you know?
Yeah.
Like you would have learned some sort of lesson or something.
I just don't know how you do season 2 because the thing is, like, what, season 2 they go back to trying to rehearse with other people? I'm like, you can't at this point. Like, we're too far down the rabbit hole.
I think season 2 has already been shot. Well, it's my opinion.
You think so?
Part of me thinks it's already been, they've shot it already. And they're just continuing. Like, oh shit, we need to make sure if people like this or not before we decide to put the rest out.
In a world where HBO / Warner Brothers / Discovery is cancelling everything, I'd find it wild if they've recorded a second season of this show already.
Well, that kind of justifies it more because, you know, they've already got it in the can and it's popular. That's the most important thing. But yeah, even the last episode, they built the house. The lady's house. Oh, man.
Mailbox and all.
Yep. I do love that they brought the bar back.
To one school just for the parents to pick up the kid and take him to another school, just to pick him up from his real school to take him
and
back
drop
to
him
that
off
school. So Nathan
by
can
4
pick him
o'clock
up at that school with actors.
That was terrible advice as well, you know. You know, if they ask you to go to sleepover, just say no.
Say no.
Okay. But yeah, the bar from the first episode's still there.
Yeah. That line he has at some point where he's like, he pays actors to sit in there so he can pretend to be at a real bar. Oh no, he like turns it into a real bar of that short alleyway or whatever. And he has like a line where he's like, after you already got HBO to buy you a really expensive bar or something like that. It's like the line in the voiceover or something. It's like,
yeah. I keep all these actors here. You know,
and he's like, for legal reasons, I had to call it something rather and not something else. Or...
Yeah. And my so many great moments. This episode, the birthday party, where he's hired only background actors.
Yeah, which he didn't to save money. Cost him $15,000, but then he didn't think about the fact that they're not allowed to talk. My favorite part is the part where like they go to clap for the kid, and like he's like, "You guys can clap," and a couple of the extras start clapping. There's a one woman who looks at him like, "You're breaking the code."
Not allowed to make any noise. Yeah. Yeah. I guess I would normally ask what do you expect from a season 2, but
fuck if I know.
What?
No,
I don't even know if I fully understand what we got in season 1.
Yeah, I can't tell you what was happening week by week on this fucking season, let alone what's going to happen in season 2.
Yeah.
Show's just insane. This is I guess I'll win some Emmys next year.
I don't know what category is it going to be?
Reality.
Is it comedy? Is it reality?
What if it just wins them all?
Yep, just a new category.
Yep.
Best rehearsed.
The best reality show that's actually just so fucked up reality that it's confusing.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch like a making of thing behind it, but then I also don't want to watch a making of or like a director's comedy area or something. I don't know. I suspect he'll do much like Bo Burnham did and just not do any press, you know. He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to talk about it at all.
I went on his Twitter and he doesn't tweet fuck all. All he tweeted about was like, hey, my show's out. And then when HBO posted the tweet saying that the second season's been announced, he just replied with a screenshot of the stock level rising at Warner Brothers. And that's all he's tweeted in like the last couple of months. Like, so, yeah.
All right. Let us know what you thought of the rehearsal. Do you know what it was about? Let us know by going to explosion.com/Twitter or jump to the Discord at explosion.com/Discord. If you want to help us out here at What Do You Want to Watch, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Podchaser, or leave 5 stars anywhere. You can leave 5 stars or tell people about the show. And if you like this episode, thought it was worth $1, head on over to our Ko-fi page at explosion.com/support. Thank you very much for listening. Until next time, keep rehearsing stuff, I guess.
Are you sure you want to do this?
I don't really like lying to people.
You're a liar.
Yeah, neither do I.
you're Willy Wonka and Charlie Buckets.
I'm the bad guy in that?
Well, but he's a dream maker.
Okay.
And you're making some dreams happen for me.
But kids died in the factory?
Well, they supposedly died.
I'll read the book again just to look into it.
Yeah.